Japan had almost no contact with the industrialized world during its time of isolation in the 17th century. There was relative peace in Japan during this time. Beginning in the early 19th century, Westerners tried to open Japan. French, Russian, and American traders were all denied by the Japanese. That changed when U.S. Commodore Matthew Perry arrived with a modern four-ship fleet in 1853 outside what is now modern Tokyo. Perry brought a letter from Millard Fillmore, the current U.S. president, asking for Japan to open trade with the U.S. Perry delivered the message with a threat, demanding them to open trade. Japan could not fight off the modern fleet of ships, so they were forced to open trade. This led to the Treaty of Kanawaja, which opened trade with all the European countries.
The Japanese were infuriated by the shoguns giving in to the demands of the foreigners. The shoguns had ruled Japan for over 12 centuries and at the time were controlling the government. Backed by the support of the people, Mutsushiro took control of the government from the Tokugawa shoguns. After Mutsushiro took the control of the government, he took the name of the Meiji. Meiji decided that the best way to counter Western influence was to modernize Japan. Japan sent representatives to Europe and North America to study Western ways. It was rather in matter of life and social custom and ways of thinking that I found myself at loss in America. From the autobiography of Yukishi Fujisawa. By the 20th century, Japan was as modern as the rest of the world. However, the country was wanting more land and power.
Japan and China signed a hands-off agreement that said they wouldn't send their armies into Korea. China broke the agreement and Japan moved in to drive China out of Korea. They were successful, and in 1895, Japan and China signed a peace treaty, giving Japan its first two colonies, Taiwan and the Pescador Islands. Russia and Japan were now strongest powers and soon went to war over Manchuria. They started the Russo-Japan War. A lot of people were surprised that Japan forced Russian troops out of Japan and captured most of the Russian fleet. In 1905, Japan and Russia began peace negotiations and signed the Treaty of Portsmouth. This gave them the captured territories and forced Russia out of Korea. Japan soon started to take over Korea. They sent officials in and gradually started taking power from the Korean Empire. By 1910, Japan had full control over Korea.
Click here for China.
Click here for Korea.